And welcome back to The Angry Teacher. I'm Richard Williams, the Angry Teacher, and today I'm giving you FOMO grading hacks. Hang around, we're gonna learn today. Now, we know, once again, that it gets really stressful when you have a lot of work to grade or to check for kids. You've got different things, paperwork. The district is demanding things. Your administrators are demanding things. What do? You find ways to not cut corners necessarily, but you find ways to make your life easier. Yes, you're still giving the same quality work. Yes, you're still giving the same quality grading, but it's just making it a little bit easier on you. So life, when your own home life starts attacking you and work life starts attacking you, you find ways to make it work. So here's the first hack. Give oral assignments, and this could include discussions. First of all, and don't know where you teach, but kids love when they don't have to necessarily write anything, when it's not a formal assignment. I'm going to grade you on what we talk about and how you interact in the discussion. They love that. And at some point, they're going to have to write later down the road, but right now, I just want to know where your head's at. How are you thinking? They love that idea. All right, all subject areas, it works well. And even if it's not a discussion, you can have discussion start. You pose a question. If it's math, you pose that equation or that mathematical problem on the board or wherever, and you walk around, you kind of talk to them, and as they participate, you're grading them. You can tell them or you don't have to, but either way, that's the easiest grade. Once again, like my other video, walk around with a clipboard, and it's easy to grade. You put it in, we're good. All right? Oral assignments. By all means, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for the next Angry Teacher Dope video. It's coming soon. Every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there's a new release, so check them all out. Number 2, group assignments. And people worry about doing the virtual situation now, but it's not a problem either. If it's Teams or Google Classroom or Zoom, you can always put them in groups by different, they're called channels in Teams, or Google Classroom, Zoom, you have breakout rooms. You put them in groups and you can pop in, you see who's talking or who's doing the work or who is not. You pop out, you pop into the next group. And this is an easy way to grade without having to sit down and do all that. If you have a rubric and you're going through the whole system and you tell them what they need to do, you give them about a couple of class periods to get it done, and they know what they're doing, and every time you're checking, at the end of the process, you don't have to sit and go through the whole slide or the whole project because you've already checked at incremental parts. So you're good. That's the easiest thing. Group A, okay, they're doing well, so I don't have to check on them. Wait a minute, Group C, there's always this part that they never get to. So I'm going to stay with them a little bit longer today and kind of have them figure it out. Group projects, group assignments, they work. The kids love working together. And sometimes you change up the groups. Sometimes they want to go back to the same groups. It doesn't matter to me as long as you get the work done. And it's easy to grade. Use it. Number 3, minimize the questions. Now, once again, I'm old school and we cover a lot in my class, so my tests are kind of long to the point where I have to give them an entire class to do it. So, but COVID has taught me that I had to minimize a lot of stuff because making these tests on Google Forms were taking forever. So I kind of had to minimize the number, but in any case, it was still something that works. I minimized the question, the length of the test by taking out, I had to, as the teacher, pay attention to the most vital things I wanted them to get from what the questions were, those vital questions. So they didn't have all this additional stuff that I could have them shine. And sometimes, you put stuff in there that they'll shine, even though it was a hard concept. I know that they at least know the definition of one thing. So I'll put that question on there so that at least they feel empowered to at least know they have some questions right. So you minimize the number and it's easier to grade, especially if you do it on certain platforms like Google Forms. You make one of those quizzes and it grades it for you. so you don't have to sit there and check stuff. If it's something that you still need to check, instead of giving the 10 question quiz or the 25 question quiz, maybe you do 5 questions or 8 questions, and then it's easier for you to check each student's assignment. All right? Minimize the questions. And the last one, number 4, have a system. Use systems for what you do in the room. Now, it's a different day that we can't necessarily touch their papers or whatever, but I'm sure back in the day we used to have or systems where the kids knew where to turn work in, how to turn work in, when to turn work in. And so now we have to do the same thing, but it doesn't have to be problematic. This is also a hack where you can figure out a system for how they turn stuff in. Like for me now, I have them email their written work to me every Friday by 8 p.m. They know that whatever we're doing from Monday through Friday, it needs to be turned in by 8 p.m. on Friday. So that's a system. And so at some point now, in the beginning, it was a lot of questions, but right now they're getting it. They're at the point where I have to turn this in by. All right, so that's a system. You can group things by, and some of you have different types, so you have different grade levels in the same period, or you teach different subject area. For elementary, you teach different subject areas. So separate things by grade, separate the grade levels, separate things by standards, separate things by assignments, separate things by, and you can use the different colored folders or whatever process that you use, or the different folders on your desktop. Just separate things that way so it's easier to find and locate things. So you're organized in that, okay, we tested them on main idea, I can go to this folder and I see who did it. I have 10th graders who should be working on a certain skill, but because they're taking the national standardized test, but I have 12th graders in the same period who don't necessarily need it because they already passed that particular subject standardized test. So you know what? I'm going to test them differently. So let me put their work in a folder and the 10th graders in a folder. So give yourself systems to figure out how to grade things, when to grade things, why to grade things. And so kids will figure out that this is how it works, and it will make it easier for them, easier for you. And when you grade, it's easier for everybody. All right. Those are my 4 tips. Hang around for the teacher's lounge because, I guess you know by now, my kids are the greatest. They are so dope. It's ridiculous. Thanks for coming to class today. Don't forget to go out there and be great. Hey, go out there and teach.